Every day in warehouses and industrial sites, near misses happen. Dark corners, distractions, human error. These dangers cost not just money but lives. Over 100,000 forklift accidents happen every year. Traditional safety measures aren't enough. Operators rely on mirrors and their instincts, but in high-risk environments, reaction time is critical. A new solution is needed. It's time for a smart approach to safety. Introducing the TrackR AI Collision Avoidance System, a revolutionary technology that prevents accidents before they happen. With real-time AI-powered detection, TrackR AI Collision Avoidance System constantly scans the surroundings, identifies hazards, and instantly alerts operators. AI-powered 360 degrees collision detection, real-time alerts and warnings. Seamless fleet integration, advanced AI-powered sensors create a 360 degrees safety zone, instantly detecting potential hazards. Operators receive immediate audio and visual warnings, allowing them to react in time. TrackR AI Collision Avoidance System can be easily installed on any forklift, cranes, trucks, trailers, JCBs, increasing safety without disrupting operations. Smarter awareness, proactive safety, fewer accidents. Since installing TrackR AI Collision Avoidance System, near misses have been reduced by over 50%. Operators feel safer and productivity has improved. 50% reduction in near-miss incidents, accidents can be prevented. Safety is essential. Upgrade to TrackR AI Collision Avoidance System today. Take safety to the next level. Contact us today. Let's look at the demo now.
Human. 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 Human.
Welcome to another episode of Hackler Podcast, the show where we bring you industry leaders and game changers shaping the future of safety, sustainability, and leadership. Today's episode is all about empowering the current and upcoming generation of safety professionals. And who better to join us than Mr. Harshal Solanky, a certified safety and industrial hygienist and a seasoned safety leader who is currently working as a Deputy General Manager at Adani Siemens, Ahmedabad. Around 18 years of experience driving world-class workplace safety, process safety, fire safety, industrial hygiene, EHS, ESG, and sustainability frameworks. Harshal has not only led crisis management, safety audits, and compliance program, but has also been a mentor and guide for current and upcoming safety professionals. In this episode, we'll talk about how young professionals can thrive in today's complex safety landscape, the mindset and skills they need, and how technology and leadership go hand in hand. Harshal, welcome to the show. Before we start, please introduce yourself for our audience.
Thanks a lot, Amber. It's been an honor to be on your show. Hello, everyone. This is Harshal Solanky. I'm coming with around 18 years of experience working in different capacities and with the different sectors. I have started my journey in 2007 with SR Power, and then since then I've worked with Larsen & Toubro, GSPC Gas, Hindustan Zinc Limited in Rajasthan, Jubilant Life Sciences, PI Industries, and currently I'm associated with Adani Siemens, one of the biggest organizations right now in our country. Basically, I am a BE Fire and Safety guy from 2007 batch pass out, And after completing a decade in the industry, I again started my academics. And since then, since 2017, when I completed my NEBOSH IDC, then I did my NEBOSH International Diploma in Occupational Health and Safety from UK. Then I did my Bosch Process Safety Management certification. In 2021, I became Certified Safety Professional from Board of Certified Safety Professional from US. In 2023, I cleared Certified Industrial Hygienist certification from Board of Global. In 2024, last year, I got the certification from OHTA. I am a Certified Hygienist from UK as well. So these are few of my certificates which I did, especially in the last 5 years. I have worked in different capacities, in different domains like workplace safety, process safety, fire safety, and in the last couple of years after I did my hygiene, I have had some experience in hygiene field as well. So this is what in the nutshell.
Very nice. That's great to hear, Harshal. So, to start off, can you share your journey? What inspired you to pursue a career in safety, compliance, and sustainability?
Then, after I did my 10 plus 2 in 2003, and the kind of background from where I was coming, it was more about to get the employment rather than go for what you want to do. When I got landed up with this field of fire and safety, it is more about that the kind of assurance in the environment in which I was being there. The assurance was then at least we will be having the job, because in 2003 the world was striving towards information and technology. There were a lot of people who are going to IT and computer science and electronics and communications. I don't want to be in that mode, so I decided myself, okay, let's do something in this particular field. So it's not about by my choice. Not about by creating out of any desire. It is just landed up accidentally. So you can call me an accidental safety professional.
Okay, understood. Looking back, what were some of the key challenges that you faced early in your career, and how did you overcome them?
The challenges were there at that time as well, and challenges are now as well. So the challenges which were there when I started my career were different in terms what I was capable of, and if they come now, it might be not that big because I am having 18 years of experience. If I will talk about of the year 2007, when just city was sprouting from the ground, you can see in our country, because it is not that much admired. So the challenge for a guy who is coming from a very normal middle class family, from a very small town where the cultural difference is there. So just take an example, if a guy is coming from a different region and landed up a job in Gujarat, it will be very difficult for him. So biggest problem was the communication. The second biggest problem was that when you are completing your education, you are coming with a complete mindset when you have just kept your books. But when you come on the field, the challenges will be different. Even though the things which you have learned, it will not be sufficient to progress in your career. So the domain knowledge and the kind of acceptance as well, because a guy who just left the college and enter a field which is not that much accepted by the other half of the world, it will be very difficult. So the acceptance was also one of the challenges, where you have to accept the facts and move forward. So communication and the technical knowledge which you have gathered, and again to build that discipline, to maintain that integrity, that is very important. So I believe that these are integrity, discipline, and acceptance, you can say, were the main perspective which I carried, and those were the tools which helped me to overcome the challenges which I faced, and still using the same thing.
Harshal, in your experience, what are most common skills, gap, or misconception among safety professionals entering the field today? And if you can compare it from the time when you entered, did something change or it's still the same?
we are actually living in the world of disruption. So skills and gaps. The guy who has completed his BTech or an engineering 3 decades back, and the guys who are just coming out of the college, the skill might be very high, but the other variables like the soft skills, right, like the emotional quotient will be very different. So when if I will talk about only two quotients, that is intelligence quotient and emotional quotient. So these are a kind of skill set and the gaps which I can see in the today's world, in the today's world where the youth is coming in the safety field. As far as misconception is concerned, I have seen in the last 10 years that the professionals who are working in operations or in other department, they have shown their zeal to work in safety department because of certain reasons, because of the kind of mindset which they have established in the last few years of their work experience, that as a safety professional we have to check the helmets and PPEs, safety gears we have to check, and we have to give trainings only. So that mindset is a misconception. This is the misconception is among the youth, but the bigger misconception is with the institute from where the people are coming out. Because the young professionals, young safety professionals who are just coming out of the college and started working on the shop floor, their institute needs to clear those misconceptions by taking the feedback those who are working in the since last many years. So
Right.
what will happen is there will be certain changes in the curriculum. There will be certain addition of soft skills which are required in today's world where we are facing accident every hour, I can say. So misconception is with the youth also, and the misconception is with the institute also. And there are conceptions with the organization as well. In certain organizations, safety is taken for granted, and in certain organizations, safety is just a legal formality. Because there is a legal book in mentioned that you need to have a safety officer. So those
Right.
misconception is not only with the youth, it is with the institute, it is the organization as well.
Harshal, when you were explaining this answer, I was just thinking that, like, we have electrical engineering, we have mechanical, we have civil, and underlying those we have HR department, we have administrative department. So I'm just thinking that we should also have a safety department which should be underlying to the whole organization, and we should have specific education for these guys who are coming into this department. But what we see is, like you mentioned, operational people come into this, some other kind of people come into this. So what are your thoughts on that?
But let me give you a very interesting fact. In many of the organization and the big organization I am talking about, in the last 4-5 years, during my last organization when I got associated with them, I used to apply to the companies. And in recent times, they are having their website where you can upload your CV. So when you mention BTech and when you search your branch, it is not there. You will not find fire and safety field. From this point, you can analyze that what kind of importance that organization is having.
Correct.
So if we have to accept this fraternity, if we have to accept this word, we have to accept it totally in each and every frame of our mind. This is what I believe.
That's true. I mean, it cannot be just an afterthought that, okay,
Yes,
let's
absolutely.
just implement. Yeah. Makes sense. Harshal, you have successfully handled high stake incidents in your journey. What do you think how young professionals can prepare themselves mentally and technically for these crisis situations?
I want to clarify here a very important message for the young professional. Safety profession is not just a checklist of acquisitions, attainments, and fulfillments. The job of a safety official, a safety professional, safety evangelist is difficult and complicated sometimes. I have handled many incidents, fortunately or unfortunately, because when anybody lose their life, it will be a pain to everyone, whether they are in blood relation or not, right? I have handled many incidents, But the most important thing which I accepted, I said two quotients, IQ and EQ, in the previous question of yours. I want to add another quotient here. That's called adversity quotient. So a safety professional has to accept that as long as they are putting themselves in an adversity, they will prepare themselves for the bigger events. They will be able to manage mentally and technically. See, technically, nobody can teach you, let me tell you. If you are having certain deficiencies in your technical knowledge, it is up to you that how far you want to go. You have to read a lot of books, you have to go through many articles, you have to interact with many people. But when it comes to the mental strength, that's called fortitude. The fortitude of a safety professional needs to be very strong. Very strong. If they have to handle big incidents, I'm not talking only about the accidents which has resulted into a fire or explosion or a structural collapse. But there are certain events in which a safety professional got involved, the state of the organization is on.
Right.
Adversity quotient is one of the most important quotient for a safety professional. See, the true strength of your character will only get tested on the face of strong adversity. If you have faced a lot of adversity in your life, you will be characterized by that. So that's very important.
So that is something to be taken note of, that it's a very important factor as for a safety profession. Moving on, technology is transforming the safety landscape. How important it is for the next generation to embrace tools like AI, EHS software, and digital monitoring systems.
This is the topic of the globe right now, artificial intelligence. And sometimes people used to perceive it, because I have seen the kind of zeal and the exuberance in the current generation of safety professionals, because they are so much driven, they are so much influenced by the social media, where they used to come across many things. And unfortunately, we are living in an age that's digital, and there are a lot of organizations who are behind this. But let me tell you one thing, technology is a boon or curse. I'm not going to debate on that, but let me give you a very interesting perspective in this. See, these tools will be used to capture your data. These tools will be used to monitor, right? But there are certain demerits with this. Let me give you an example. In one of my organizations, I was using artificial intelligence through CCTV cameras, where I have made the CCTV AI enabled, so that if anybody who is violating gear rule, like if they are not wearing a helmet, automatically an alarm will generate, right? So that is, it's good as far as the monitoring is concerned. But where is the human interaction then? If the people, out of 100 people, there are 2 people who are not wearing a safety helmet, but 98 people are wearing, that will go unnoticed. There is one very interesting story of ATM machines through which we used to take out the cash. It was being generated, that particular idea. The idea behind this was that ATM doesn't ask you whether you are rich or a poor. Rich or a poor is going to a bank, the bank will treat them separately. But ATM machine will never ask you. So this will be one of the demerit of the tools. If I am having all the softwares, let's say that I am currently working in a corporate world and I am having n number of sites under my belt. I have developed so much systems where people used to put their data and I'm extracting it. Now where is the interaction? Let me tell you one interesting story. During the time of COVID, after COVID, I can say, I was traveling on a flight, I think, and I was sitting in an airport, and fortunately I was having a discussion with someone who was a big intellect of the marketing field. And he said, Harshal, this MST meeting had killed marketing people. And he used to tell his subordinates that go and enter having MST meeting, because you will not get the human touch. If I will say you, thank you, hour on a WhatsApp, and say you in front of you with certain emotions, which will work most. So
Yes,
it
for
is
sure,
not
when,
necessary.
yeah.
Yes. So see, the emotions should come up. In safety, that human touch is required. Safety professional is dealing with a shop floor casual to up to CEO. So he need to have that different layers of humanity. When he's talking to a shop floor guy, you need to have a different approach. And when you are talking to a CEO, you need to have a different approach. Right? So you can have those tools, but it should not kill the basic values, the beliefs, the principles. It should not be compromised. And this is the request I'm having to all the safety professionals. Don't get fascinated by the new AI tools. It will be good up to a certain extent, but don't get over dependent on them. Otherwise, the basic purpose will get defeated.
I want to ask you your opinion about something called as dark factories. Have you heard of this new term called dark factories in China? Basically, these are 24/7 running plants without any humans. It's all automated, basically, 100% automation. So, do you have any thoughts on these kind of dark factories where there is no human?
No, I haven't come across. I will definitely, after this session, I'm going to search for it. I'll connect with you on this topic.
Sure. Moving forward, you have led different scales of teams and mentored many professionals. What qualities do you believe define a great leader in safety and ESG space?
Okay. So I have given you 3 quotients: emotional quotient, intelligent quotient, adversity quotient. The biggest quotient for a leader, because the leader is responsible for the people and people responsible for the results. Right? A true leader is a one who is having the highest CQ. That's called curiosity quotient. He should always ask. He should always ask. And for the young safety professionals and those who are working right now, they need to develop this habit to improve their curiosity quotient. I also recommend them to read a book by Simon Sinek. Start with why. Because generally we use why tools in our investigations also. So a true leader will only be judged by the curious quotient he is having. Right? A true leader will always recognize and reward the dissenting views. Those who is having, if a true leader is conducting a meeting, you need to have someone who has to act like a devil's advocate. And that needs to be encouraged. A true leader will always lead by example. And one of the most important things which I believe is, which I used to practice a lot, is establish the clear communication channels. There should not be even an error of margin of 0.11% when it comes to the communication. My message, people, is develop your curiosity quotient and reward the dissenting views who is contradictory in nature.
That's very true. Yeah, there should be a devil's advocate in the team so that he or she can bring out points which we might not think about.
Yes.
Okay, how can organization better support and empower young professionals to grow, innovate, and take ownership?
But see, every organization is having a vision, and based on the vision, they used to plan their mission. So it is the responsibility. See, organization is made by leaders. It is made by the people. So it is the responsibility of the top leadership that how you will make young professionals, not only safety, as it is not because that I'm a safety professional, I will advocate for the safety professionals only. For every young people, for every young individual who is coming from any background, make them about your vision, right? And accordingly improve their capability. See, capability building is one of the biggest challenge and one of the biggest perspective which is not yet in the way it should be. Every organization, if they are having a big vision, if they are having a real value for everything, not only for their people, but for the country, but for the society, they have to integrate. Now, what they have to integrate is, they have to integrate their vision mission, their values, their principles, their ethics with the wisdom, creativity of an individual. When these things will get integrated, organization will never lose the direction. Never. And they always have a resource in hand, and there will not be any scarcity of anything. This is what I believe.
Those are really nice thoughts, Harshal. It's great to hear those things. What are your thoughts on the evolving role of sustainability and ESG in safety profession? And how can younger professionals contribute meaningfully?
Sustainability and ESG, let me tell you, actually those were exist before as well, because before these words were being adapted or accepted.
Right.
The simple definition of sustainability is that we have to fulfill our present requirements without compromising the future needs. So before that sustainability comes up, a safety professional, we have been taught that whatever we do, we have to make sure that whether it's a process, whether it's a product, everything, it should be safe by design. We used to call it a concept of SBD. Now, we have to remove that word of safety and put a word of sustainability. So whatever you do, if you are creating an infrastructure, if you are developing a process, if you are developing a product, it should be sustainable by design. This is the most important thing. Now, there comes the most important responsibility for a true leader, for an organization, is involvement of every safety or an environment guy in from the start itself, from the initial discussion itself, so that they can give the data. Similarly, on the other hand, if organization is going for something new which they haven't experienced before, they have to make sure that they will train and educate the people accordingly before taking this up project, and that's very important. So I believe is you need to have the 10th man rule, right? Apart from the devil's advocate, there is a very important concept of the 10th man rule that was being established by the Israel agency Mossad after 1973. So it is the responsibility of organization, if they want to get integration of ESG and sustainability in their entire business, they have to take certain calls in this.
Finally, what actionable advice would you give to someone who just started out in EHS, ESG, or occupational safety today to future-proof their career and become a true leader?
Well, every individual is having certain skills and certain areas of improvement. Every safety professional has to analyze himself. See, I can lie to you, but I cannot lie to myself. Right? I cannot lie to myself. An individual cannot lie himself. Yeah. So acceptance is the biggest thing. Number one, that accept if you don't know anything. Sometimes, things which are most important don't always scream the loudest, but they are important. That needs to be remembered. Second thing is, there is no shortcut. You have to work very hard. I have read one of the quote in one of the novel last year, that if you are not upgrading yourself, you are degrading yourself. So on a daily basis, you have promised to yourself that you will learn at least a thing in a day. So over a period of time, that will become compounding, just like the compound effect, if I will correlate it. The third thing which I said, the word integration. So integrate your knowledge, get accustomed with the new technology also, and improve your creativity. Now integrate this. Work hard, be passionate, and accept whatever comes up. So these are some of the traits which I want to say.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Harshal, for sharing such valuable insights and real world wisdom with us today. I am sure our listeners, whether they are new to the field of seasoned safety professionals, they are walking away with some fresh perspective on what it takes to thrive and lead in this ever-evolving safety landscape. For everyone watching today, if you are passionate about building a safer, more sustainable future, take a page from Mr. Harshal's playbook. Stay curious, stay disciplined, and never stop learning, and always try to ask more questions. So don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share this episode with anyone you know who's on the path to becoming a next generation safety leader. Until next time, stay safe and take care. Bye-bye.